I struggled to get pregnant, went to different places seeking both medical and spiritual healing, but it was not useful. As a small house, my goal was to get pregnant. All of a sudden, the husband died, and I discovered I was pregnant at his funeral. Instead of mourning for the passing away of my husband, I enjoyed the funeral because I knew my child was going to share the properties left with his brothers from the men's official marriage. After burial, I visited our dark cult at midnight. Our goddess was craving for blood from my family. I finished all relatives. There was no one to sacrifice. She looked at my pregnant and yellow viewers. Welcome once again to another educative episode of African Confessions HD, right here on Extraordinary Africa. My name is Solution Uncle. If you're still new, in this show we publish lifetime confessions. Usually we publish anonymously for their own safety reasons. Listeners, you do have a challenge, you have a problem, you feel you don't have someone to share with, don't be shy, don't be afraid to share with us. We will do whatever you want us to do for you. If you want us to hide your identity, we will surely do that. If you want to share a story with us, feel free to contact our PR on his WhatsApp number, +263 775 597 775, +263 775 597 775, or you can contact him on his Gmail account, fidelgohe@gmail.com. The email account and the number is also in the screen. So don't be shy, don't be afraid, don't go and commit suicide. Feel free to share with us. Your story might be something which will educate others. At the same time, you get the advices you are seeking for. Viewers, I don't want to continue wasting time. Let's go straight into the confessions. How are you, Solution Uncle? Please hide my identity. I joined a cult to be successful in life, but it seems as if the cult is now eating the success. I struggled for the pregnant, but my goddess is craving for it. My name should not be mentioned. I am a woman in my early 40s from Pretoria. Sometimes I blame my parents for my failure in life. They were very rich, but they did not taught us how to look for money, so that when they are no longer alive, we will be able to put food on table. When mom and dad died, 5 trucks and 2 houses were left in our names. My brother, who was the firstborn, married a wife from KwaZulu. The wife pushed for a wedding. After wedding, she tricked my brother, and all assets went into the name of the wife because she was the one who was a citizen of South Africa. We all came from Malawi. Later on, they divorced and were left with nothing. From that incident, I hated other women, and I felt I want to revenge whenever I was thinking to revenge on what my brother's wife did to us. After the property was taken, we started struggling, moving without food, without clothes. We were relying on begging, standing at road intersections, begging for people who are passing through. That was a life we didn't expect to live when we were still growing up. We grew up in a rich background. Our parents gave us everything we wanted. Went to group A schools, went to holidays to faraway countries, and we never expected this would happen to us. So there was a friend of mine. One day she was driving and saw me standing at a robot intersection begging for food and clothes. My friend almost cried when she looked at me. She knew me as a girl from a rich background. We learned together. She knew me as one of the richest girls in the school. But everything has changed. I was standing at a road intersection begging for food and clothes. She took me to her house, and that's when I discovered they were getting the money from a river goddess. So the girl said, "We are worshipping this woman. The woman is the one who gave us all these riches so that we can be able to learn with you at those classic schools. We were relying on the money we take from our river goddess. Are you able? We should go and let you be initiated with our cult." I was out of ideas. I wanted to take care of my brothers and sisters who were struggling in streets. We went together. The lady stays near the Limpopo River. There is a very small house near the river. We went and entered into the house. I was shocked. There is a mansion under that house. We got deep and it's like we were under the water. I didn't understand because when we got out of the house, there was no house at that place. I was shocked, but there was nothing to do. I wanted to get all the charms so that I can revenge to the wife who ill-treated us and took away all our riches. My friend introduced me to the cult leader. I was given a bangle, that thing, and said, "You can go. This is a bangle." From that day, I was visiting them at midnight. I became successful. That's when I started dating this man. The man was very rich. Most of the people here in South Africa knew the man. The man was very rich. We started dating and going to holidays. I was very happy. The lifestyle I knew was better. To shorten the story, that's when and how I joined the cult. I became successful. Dating married men was the thing, became a norm, and I was able to take care of my siblings who were struggling. One of the men built me a house and I divorced. I broke up with him because I finished my mission. What I only wanted from those married men is money. So I started dating this man. The man was very rich to an extent that I didn't manage to lose him because I wanted the share. The man was a cancer patient and he was about to die. I knew there was money to come as soon as possible. The next thing I wanted was to be pregnant so that I can be able to share the properties with the wives who are married officially, the wives who were known by his relatives. Pregnant became a very hard thing to get. I went to several places. The man wanted to impregnate me because he said I was very beautiful. He wanted a kid with me. We went to Singapore, we went to India, we went to Brazil seeking for medication, but it wasn't helpful. We went to spiritual healers, to prophets and prophetesses, but it wasn't useful. All of a sudden the man died and I went to the funeral. I was not happy at all, not because the man died, but I failed to get pregnant so that I can have my share. At the funeral, I discovered I was pregnant. And I told one of the aunties he used to come to me with. She was very happy. I was very happy because we have the access to the wealth. I was going to share with the auntie according to our plan. We started attending the funeral. Everything happened in a good way. After the funeral, on the burial day, I went to our cult at midnight. The goddess was angry and hungry for blood. She started scolding me, saying, "You are the only person of all my followers who has not yet sacrificed since you last did it 2 years ago. I want your blood right now." The lady pointed at my pregnant and said, "This is my blood. I am just waiting for you to give birth." And this is what happened. I returned to the relatives of my blesser. The relatives accepted my pregnant and said, when the child is born, we'll go for DNA test and she will get, or he will get his share when the brothers from the official marriages are sharing the properties. Now, this is my worry. Our goddess wants to kill my pregnant when he or she is born. I want the wealth because this is what I have been done all these years. The cult, I sacrificed my siblings. I sacrificed my remaining uncles and aunties. Now the problem is, after all this, they did not appreciate all what I did. They now want my pregnant. A thing I've been crying for all these years. One of the things which made me to join the cult. This is my story. I'm sorry for what I did. I'm sorry to the world. I'm sorry to you, all South Africans and Malawians. I am a bad person who came out from you. Please forgive me. But solution, uncle, can this be reversible? I want to have this child. Even with all the wealth, I just want a child because I am now very old and I think this is my last chance to have a child. I am struggling. I am in tears each and every day because of that. Yellow uncle, please don't mention my name and phone number. I am a woman in her mid-40s. I am cursed because of what my ancestors did. They ruined the future. All my siblings died because of the spirit of a man my grandfather killed. It is said back in the 90s, grandfather was a gardener at another house. His employer only have one child. The child started abusing alcoholic substances and drugs. Later on, he started sneaking out of the house for days. At the end, no one was knowing his whereabouts. For over 15 years, the boy never returned home. Grandfather was still there, working, loyal to the bosses, good all the time, in bad and good times. Traditional healers told the employer and his wife that the boy was no longer alive. Granny directed them to the healers because he has already talked with them. He was targeting the wealthy because he knew the bosses trusted him. It was more likely that he was going to inherit the property if the son was not to return. It is said the mother died of stress, but before her death, they have said the grandfather was to inherit all their properties since they no longer have a child. After mom's death, someone told the son, "You are still alive. You came to the funeral." This shocked everyone. This did not please grandfather as well because the real person to inherit the property has arrived. Grandfather planned to kill the employer's son as soon as possible. It is said Granny sent someone to put poison in son's beer. He drank and died hours after his mama's death and burial. The father was sick by then, later died the following year, and grandfather took all the properties. The person he sent to put the poison was the employer's maid. He was to pay her back by marrying her. Granny did not fulfill the promise. Instead, he fired the maid and married his girlfriend, who is now our grandmother. They had 7 kids together. Grandmother was bewitched by the ex-maid. All her children and grandchildren should be disabled. My father and all her siblings were disabled. They gave birth to us grandchildren to this murderer. No one is able. Of all my brothers, cousins, recently these years a spirit is rising against us. It's a spirit of the killed son of an employer. We are in trouble. The ghost comes and cook all the food we have. We went to healers. They are saying we should leave everything we have because it's from blood. Our grandfather killed the son who was supposed to inherit the property. We moved out, me and my cousins. The story is still the same. The ghost is still coming. We are disabled. Life is now hard. We used to rely on the property left to us by the grandfather. Uncle, I am seeking spiritual cleansing or else to return to the property and die there because we are in trouble. Please hide my identity when you publish. My solution, uncle, please hide my identity when you publish. This is my story. I was impregnated by my cousin brother. The brother is 40 years old. I am still 18. It was on a party. We went to the party together. We got drunk and we slept together. We realized we slept together in the morning when we woke up in the same bed. It was stressful. It was hurting to know that this is what I've done because of beer. Since then, I stopped drinking beer, but it's no longer reversible. I am pregnant. This is what happened. I told the brother what has happened. All these years, he was failing to have a child, and he begged me to remain with the pregnant. Then he will find something to do so that people can understand what has happened. But it seems as if the devil was always at the back of it. Now the brother was involved in a serious accident and died on the spot. I no longer have who to stand with when we go for our African traditional religion cleansing. I know I'm going to be caught because the child will not drink the milk according to our tradition. If I do not tell the people the truth, the child will die. I am now in these stressing days. I don't know what I'm going to tell the people because I don't want to lose this child again because I struggled. The pregnant is very stressful. I am not ready to give birth to someone who will die. But what I'm going to tell the people? Sometimes I am suicidal because I don't want to see my child dying. The person who told me not to abort is no longer there. I don't know what he was planning to tell the people. This is my problem. Is my problem solvable? Or it's better I kill myself? Sometimes I'm suicidal because of this. Please, Solution Uncle, hide my identity when you publish. I am in trouble. Thank you so much, listeners, for tuning in to Extraordinary Africa. That was the stories for you today. Thank you so much for listening. To those people who confessed, thank you, guys. We have learned from your stories. Sometimes in life, we learn from other people's mistakes. Sometimes these are warnings you give us so that we can be aware each and every time, everywhere we go, in whatever we do. And there's someone I would like to thank, even though she told me, no, you are supposed not to thank me. Thank you, my sister, for what you did to our show. May God bless you. I won't mention your name, but may God bless you. Thank you so much. The show is back. The show is back. Thank you so much, guys, for the support. Extraordinary Africa is back. Until we meet again in another episode, thank you so much for tuning in. Bye for now.